Hello, hello, welcome back, Freestyle Showcase Podcast. I'm Alita Hernandez.
I'm JC Colon. How you guys doing tonight?
So we're here on a special day on a Wednesday. We usually do it on Thursdays at 8 p.m., but sometimes our artists are not available. They're at shows, so we try to accommodate, so we can get some interviews out there. So today we have an exciting guest. I think it's going to be a very interesting conversation. He's been around for a long time. He's been doing music, representing, in C&C Music Factory from way back when. And he's come out with some new music, and he has some things we're going to talk about tonight.
Oh, and just to let you guys know, this week DJ Benny B couldn't be with us. If not, he would be spinning a nice mix with Freedom
Oh,
Willie,
yeah.
But
he wasn't available today because we changed the date. So unfortunately, we don't have the DJ today, but it's all good. We're going to have a great conversation, which we like to do.
Absolutely.
And talk about and clear the air. There's been a lot of things going on in social media, so we like to bring things out there, not to cause controversy, but to clear the air. Everybody has a side of a story and truths out there. So
I believe we're civil right at this age, right?
Yes. And also just to let everybody know, for a disclaimer, this is for promotions only. We are a media company, and we also have the magazine besides doing the podcast and all the interviews. So we do this for promotional purposes only, entertainment purposes only. And of course, we try to interview the artists and get the best of the artists, right? So people get to know who they are, because a lot of times you hear the music but you don't know them. So, and you were asking me about sound effects. We have a new platform, so now it's like
we're testing it.
We got to test it out, but we got Freedom waiting for us in the background. Mark Walker is also trying to be backstage. He was having some technical difficulties,
Yes.
so he's trying to get in here as well, so we can get this show rolling. But we're going to start out with Freedom Williams and have a great conversation with him about his new music and what he's been up to. So
I just wanted to say before we even bring him in,
mm-hmm.
I remember when I was in my 20s, the first time I heard that, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, and I'm like, who's that? C&C Music Factory. I'm like, really? Wow. So I just want to say that after 30 years, 35 years,
we still listen to it.
We still listen to it, and it's still hitting hard all over the world.
And I want to touch something, because I want to touch on something too, because
hey Gary,
hey Gary, how you
First
doing?
Class Entertainment, what's up, my brother?
That we've had this conversation before, and we're going to get this in with Freedom as well. Is there's a difference between what was that we were talking about? A person like the master rights of a song. Remember, we should have Liberty here, our royalty specialist.
Oh my God, yes.
We have a royalty specialist that sometimes he comes into our shows, especially on the Spanish side, but we have to get him on the American side, because he talks about how
the same thing.
There's different levels of ownership in songs, and we can talk that with Freedom, but people have to understand that there's legalities and things like that. I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really talk about it, but there's certain things that when you produce a song, it gets registered, and then it has everything in there, like who wrote the song, right? Who's singing in the song, if they're musicians, like your song. Parts. So let me just talk about like your music.
Okay, let's take me as an
example.
So
I'll take JC an example. So I uploaded the last song, El Veragüira. So that song was written by Jorge de Valle from Cuba. And
it was arranged by Ramon Sanchez in Puerto Rico.
Right.
The music part.
Right. And then JC's the singer, the vocalist. And then there's a list of all the musicians that played that they performed live, instruments for the song.
And in the studio.
The trumpets, the piano, everything. Bongos, the congas, everything.
So everything gets registered, codes, everything, how you get royalties. But everything has to be in order, okay? And whoever's in charge of it, whether it's the executive producer or it's the main artist himself, it could be the main artist and produced by another brand. Sorry. It could be branded by another brand. But if you do the correct steps, there's a lot of ways to do it. And we learn every day. So we might learn a couple of things today.
I think we're going to learn some things
today. We're going to learn some things today. And maybe that'll clear some of our things that, that we've been trying to find out for years, but, and also I like my friend Gary's there, Chrissy Aiz.
Oh.
Oh, you guys were in the funeral together. Oh, Freedom was in the
Oh.
funeral. Okay, we'll talk about that in a
Oh,
few
okay. We
minutes.
got Chrissy Ais and Gary here. So
Yes.
they're talking about the funeral, yeah,
So
for
what do
Rob
you?
Bass.
So you want to do this? Let's do this.
Rob, he said Freedom should be a professor at the Berkeley School of Music. Oh, Gary's saying Freedom should be a
Wepa.
professor.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna do our own applause because I don't know where the applause is on here. So you start applauding. We're gonna bring in Freedom and let's get this show going here. Oh, there he is. Okay. Hey, Freedom, how you doing tonight?
Hola, hola, how you doing?
Good, good. Happy to have you here. This is a
Happy
last
to be
minute
seen.
surprise, you know?
Happy to be seen. People always say to me, "It's good to see you." I say, "It's even better to be seen."
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's so true. And we're still kicking it out here at our age already, you know? 30 years have ggone by and I mean, is it
30,
30 years? 40.
40.
40.
It's 40.
40
You said
years.
30.
Well, yeah, it's more because
No,
I'm
I
already
started.
16.
I started making records in Hampton. I would win shows when I went to college in 85, 86. I started rapping in 1978.
78. Okay,
Oh
that was when
wow.
that
Yes.
was when all
And I
the
know, how I know it was 77, 78 because I remember being in junior high school on the back of the bus in South Jamaica and we would write rhymes. So I had to be in the sixth grade and I went to the sixth grade in 77, 78. And I had my first rhyme book. So,
Oh wow. So you
yeah. So
always love music. So do you have family that has musical too, or is it was
my,
just you?
my brother, well, we grew up in Brooklyn. Well, most of my family grew up in Brooklyn. I actually own the house that I was born in.
Oh wow.
But then we moved to Queens, and my brother was a conga player in a band. When I remember, he used to always carry these a tumbao and a quinto. He would always walk around with these big drums, and I used to try to play him when I was 4 and 5. I played the trombone for 3 years in school. I played the
I
flute
like
for
that.
a year. I was in theater in high school. I was the theater in the second grade is what made me realize I could be on stage. I
Oh.
played Frederick Douglass in the second grade. And I remember, and this is it was very profound to me. Long story short, all of in the second grade, "Oh, I gotta pee, kids, right? Second grade. And I remember we all got our parts. It was Rosa Parks, there was John F. Kennedy, there was Harriet Tubman, and I got Frederick Douglass, who happens to be February birthday like me. And I remember the kids were in class and they were not really focused. And I was sitting in class in the second grade and I was saying to myself, why are they playing? Don't they know that our parents are going to be watching us? And then we got on stage, and the kids is on stage and they're backstage and they just have two lines, and you can hear the parents talking outside in the audience. Hey, that's my boy. That's my. They're not paying attention to us because we're only 6 and 7. And so I didn't appreciate that. So when I got on stage, I remember I stood into the mic. I had on my baby powder and my black suit like Frederick Douglass, and I went, and my deepest voice, I tapped the microphone and went, I am Frederick Douglass. And the whole audience looked. And it was at that point that I said, I got him.
Mm.
I was 7 years old. I said, I could do this. And I had an epiphany. I was like, oh, I know how to make people pay attention to me.
Mm. Wow.
Wow.
At that young age, right?
Well,
On stage, yeah.
I never
I
thought
had
of
that
that.
feeling. I had that feeling. I had that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does happen. It exists.
Yeah, it happens to you. You realize what you can and what you cannot do.
I was saying this a little while ago, and I'm trying to make it about me, but he's right because remember I was saying when they interviewed me, they say
Right.
their first play that I did in New York, in Manhattan, okay, was Everybody Wants Kung Fu Fighting, and I signed up for the part because my uncle was a martial artist, so I had the geets and everything, and the white belt and everything.
Right.
So I went. I said I wanted to do this play, and I was like, what, 6 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I was like, yo, I want to do that. So that's when I also knew.
When you felt that?
Again, and I saw
That's
that
a
whole
great
auditorium full. It was a great feeling.
You have to be born with that,
With what? The
No.
skill?
Well, I think there's a certain amount of skill I think you're born with. I think certain people are more
You got to develop
inapt. I mean, you have to develop it. You have to go to
Yes.
school for it as well. But I think that some people just, I mean, I've seen some kids that you go, They must have been reincarnated or something because they look like they're like 3 years old.
Some people are
you know,
raw.
like dancing, playing congas, like they've been playing for 40 years. It's crazy. You
Yeah.
know, when you see that, it's like
Yeah.
a prodigy child, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, that's from that step on. That's when you knew.
That's when I knew. But you got to remember something. This is 1972.
Yep.
73. So then hip hop comes along, and the first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh," because I'd played trombone, right? I tried the flute for a year, which I enjoyed. So now it's 1976, 77, and rap is popping. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this as an artist because, I'm also an air sign. So we always wind, music, voice. I'm Aquarius, so we're always thinking.
Me too.
Oh,
me too. I was going to ask you
Aquarius.
what day in February.
13.
Oh, I'm 16.
Yeah, Aquarius. Jordan is 16, I think. Michael Jordan. Ice-T too.
Yeah, Ice-T too is.
Well, a lot of artists are Geminis. A lot of musicians. Biggie's a Gemini. Air signs, right? Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, the air signs. Biggie's a Gemini. Pac's a Gemini. Andre 3000's a Gemini. Lauryn Hill's a Gemini. There's a lot of Virgos that write because Virgo is Thoth. In Egyptian, in Kemetic zodiac, Thoth is the writer. He walks around the temple with a pen. So the Virgos represent Thoth. So Virgos are good writers. Nas, Ludacris, Big Daddy Kane. But the air signs dominate any sport that takes breath. Basketball, Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Babe Ruth. Because we're air signs, which means that oxygen is what we live out. It's out. Barley was Aquarius. It's our job to breathe life into the universe. As an air sign, Virgos are grounded. Virgos.
What's Aries? He's an Aries.
Aries is a fire sign.
Yeah, he's fire.
Aries make great actors.
See, he wants to do that.
That's right.
Marlon Brando.
You did. Marlon Brando's my favorite actor. Brando's Aries. They make great actors.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
So I want to let you know, Mark is
he's in.
He's in. He made it in, and I'm just going to bring him.
Club.
Yeah, he's backstage here, so I'm going to bring him in so he can just at least join us on camera and introduce Mark, and then we'll continue our conversation. Freedom.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
How do I move it?
What up, Mark?
Oh, that.
Hey, yo, Mark, man. I've known this guy for like 15, 20 years. This dude still looks the same.
Are you using that forged skin stuff?
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. No microphone.
No microphone. Press the microphone button. You don't have to plug a microphone into the computer.
No, you don't.
Are you on the phone? It doesn't work. Ay, Dios mío.
All right.
Let me see. Do I have anything on this side?
No, maybe.
Microphone.
There you go.
No device available.
No
device
device available.
There's no device available.
All right, so just look cute.
It just looked.
He got the Susquehanna Hat Company cell phone edition.
Oh my God.
Consumer cellular.
Oh my God.
Susquehanna.
Consumer cellular, right?
Well, it's good to see you, Mark.
I know, it's great to see you, Mark. We just can't hear you, unfortunately.
I'll see you Friday. I'll see you Friday in DC.
So anyway, just stick around, Mark.
Stick
okay,
around, Mark.
we're gonna keep on talking to Freedom here. Okay, just chill.
It's a sign language.
Back. Yeah, ya tu sabes.
No
I don't have my guy here that does that. All right, let's continue.
So Freedom. So Mark, I met Mark like 15 years ago. I actually took him to Spanish TV, to America TV, doing some promo. I was a publicist for Nasty Boys, and Mark was there, and Jay, what was that? La Loba, what's her name?
Deja La Loba.
Deja La Loba was there, and Jovel and the Nasty Boys and stuff like that. So we were on TV for a while. And then the other day I was going through my photographs and it popped up and I go, JC, look, this is before I met JC. and he knows all these guys, right? He actually, JC was a Nasty Boy for brief interim.
Like about a year.
For like a year, he was like dancing in the background and doing all
Singing.
the Nasty Boy stuff, right? So it was just a small world. And I saw the picture. I said, hey, I wonder what's going on with Mark. And then I ran into him on TikTok. And I'm like, Mark, oh my God. And I sent him the picture. So we just reconnected, after 15 years, And so we had a long talk, and he's mentioned you and that you were working on a project together. So I said, wow, that's a great project. Let me hear about it. We're here to support always, supporting artists and supporting new music. So I know your song is out now, and we'll
talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we're talking about history about you, which is great people to know. Just a little bit about you and how long you've been in this business, and
I started, man. I was in college in Virginia, and I was a history major, and I was a communications minor, but I was always in the theater department. I always hung around with actors and actresses. So I was in the theater department, and I was making demos. I was chopping demos, and I was in Virginia, and we won, me, C&C, and Unique. We had a group called Hardcore. Actually, the Beastie Boys' first show they ever did, I opened.
Wow, the Beastie Boys.
Here's the story. Inside the Beastie Boys book that they wrote, they talk about when they did a show in Newport News, Virginia, in Norfolk. We had 2 shows. And the first night they did a show, it was us, me, Unique, C&C. We were called Hardcore, and we also were called Chosen Few. It was me, C&C, Unique, and Shadi, MC Shadi, the first rapper out of Atlanta, who's a good friend of mine from the 80s. He's from New York, but he was the first rapper from Atlanta. And the Beastie Boys. And we would win all the radio contests in Virginia Beach. Before Pharrell, before Missy Elliott, we locked Virginia Beach down. Right. Plus, we were New Yorkers. Sincere was he's still, me and Sincere are very close. Actually, I'm gonna go try to see him this weekend. We are like best friends. We were brothers, right? And he's Puerto Rican, so they always thought I was Puerto Rican. I was known as, when I was a kid, they called me Pancho.
Pancho.
My mama cheated on my daddy because they said, where Brenda got this Puerto Rican baby from? And so because we were both Puerto Ricans in Hampton, there was not that many Puerto Ricans. We just stood out.
Right.
And so we would win, and we were pretty too. We would win all the rap contests. And so we did a show in Newport News, and the Beastie Boys, their first show ever. They were drunk, they was on stage, and they jumped behind the stage and they broke the microphones. Now, the promoter of the show was a guy named General Joe. General Joe, and it's funny because I saw him I don't do Facebook much, but like 10 years ago, we were talking on Facebook. General Joe was about 6'4", a big brother, and he was a martial artist. And so they were drinking moonshine in the whole, I'll never forget it, me, Ad Rock, MCA, Shadi, and I wasn't drinking that much, and they were drunk, and I was like, yo, y'all broke General Joe's mic stands the night before. When y'all do it tonight, yo, I'm telling you, don't break it. But I mean, they would just jump on stage, smash them, low and flow, it's the tempo. Low. That was their first record. Low and flow, digga, digga, digga. And so I said, yo, man, I know General Joe because I was familiar with that part of, General was my guy.
Right.
The next night, the second show they ever did, they jumped, they came from backstage, they took the mic stands, drunk off of moonshine. By the time, I think it was MCA, I forgot who did it. By the time he picked the mic stand up and went to break it, General Joe jumped from behind the DJ booth and was like, boom, 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 and stomped them out. And so we never got to do that show. I think it was the Denby roller skating ring. And so it's funny because Andre Harrell, one day I saw Andre Harrell. I said, yo, Andre, you remember when, because Andre was working at Def Jam. I said, remember when Andre's, God bless the dead. I was like, man, that first show they did, man, when they got beat up on stage, he looked at me, he said, yo, how you know that? I said, because I opened for them. He said, get the fuck out of here. The manager got fired as soon as he got back home because you're not supposed to let your artists get beat up.
No. Are you kidding me?
But it's the Beastie Boys. They're going to do whatever they want to do. So The kicker is when I was in a bookstore and I saw Beastie Boys' their autobiography, and they mentioned that particular show. I actually have the flyer from that show. I think I posted it. I have it in my.
Have you let me ask you something. How many stuff have you collected throughout the years? Like you
Bro,
said, you said you just had that flyer. So imagine that flyer besides whatever else is in the vault.
No. You don't understand. You don't understand. You see this?
I made him pull out.
You see this doll right here?
Oh, look, Lee Majors.
This is an original Lee Majors, okay?
Wow.
I got me and Biz Markie used to always, God bless his dead, my brother, I miss him so much. We would always talk about toys, and Biz would call me up. He would go, hey, yo, Freedom. Hey, yo, what up, Biz? I love you. Bye. Click. And I would call him back. I'd be like, yo, Biz, why you? I just want to tell you that, man. Bye. But he would call me and show me his toys. And he always would, any toy I would get, he would get it and get more. And so I collect toys. I have hundreds, and I got a storage full of toys. So let me tell you something. I had the original Grandmaster Flash, T-Connection, all the dope posters. I used to collect them. I guess I'm like a pack rat. Now that I think about it, I would take them off the. Remember in New York, the posters on the walls, on the telephone poles were like 3x5s, 3x4s, and I got locked up when I was 15 for burglary and robbery. And when I got locked up, I had all the #2 comic books, Spider-Man, Captain America.
Oh man, I used to love those.
I was 15. I was like, yo, Mom, So when I finally came back home, my mother had sold all my stuff. I was like, yo, Mom, where my comics?
Uh-oh. Don't start her.
My mother threw them out.
Where my posters at? My posters was gone. Oh man, I knew though when hip hop first came out that it was gonna be valuable. I was like, yeah, no. This is forever. So I would take all the posters off the pole.
Your mother got rid of them.
Oh, but I'm sure I'm not the only one that's happened.
No, it happened to me too because I used to collect baseball cards because my father got me into watching the Yankees, right? And my grandfather was a Mets fan. But I had 1972, every Yankee card in 1972. You know how many Reggie Jacksons I had? You know how much they're worth? I must have had 25 Reggie Jacksons.
Wow.
I got so many, I just throw them out. Can you imagine? I don't even have one now. I had the whole team, all the big ones, all the big, big, and my mother threw it out. It was in a shoebox.
Well, she didn't know any better.
The great Marcus Garvey said, without vision, the people perish. Our parents didn't have any vision. How do you throw that stuff out? I mean, I had #2 thing, the Thors. And we're talking about, I started collecting these in like 1972.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. Sorry.
I do have a nice comic collection though. I ain't gonna play. Yeah, for real.
So just to I did my research and we had a conversation earlier. I've done my research and there's been a lot of commotion going on social media lately. The other day you did a rant or something. I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about that. I just heard about it.
I know it had to do with the 250th anniversary of America and the whole controversy because nobody wants to perform because Trump is the president. I'm not getting into politics.
Yes, no politics.
But what I'm saying is in general, because you know what? We should, as adults, you should be able to have a conversation without somebody getting stupid. Okay? I'll just say it like that. Well, go ahead.
I'll tell you what happened. I got a call to do a show. I didn't know it was a Trump show. Flavor Flav called me. It's my brother. I love Flav. Flavor show. I was sitting in my car parked out a coffee shop. Because I'm supposed to do Flavor Flav's show on the 16th for the girls that do soccer for the Olympics. Remember Flav sponsored the soccer girls. I know Flav years because I had a yellow Corvette, he had a green one, so we were real close. And I speak to Flav. Flav said, "Yo, Free, you doing a Trump show?" I said, "Nah, man, I don't fuck with Trump." He goes, nah, man. So then he hung up. I said, "Let me check it." I said, "Nah." And I remember I looked at my itinerary. I said, "Oh yeah, that's the 25th, but that's just on Washington." When we got the contracts, me, the Commodores, Young MC, it didn't never said Trump. It just said Washington.
Right.
Because I do, you know, 99, I do 50 shows. I do a lot of shows, and I do a lot of Europe. So a lot of times you don't know who you're performing with. I don't know who's on some shows till I get there. I'm like, yo, Bun B, what's up, my G? Like, I don't know until I get there because
right.
I've known these agents for 20, 30 years. I ain't tripping. They ain't even got to pay me right away. I have relationships with them, right? So Flav called me, and then I saw, and the young MC called me. He's like, yo, Freedom, yo, Trump. I said, get the fuck out of here. I was like, yo, this is a fucking nightmare, bro.
Oh, and then
So then what happened was he pulled out everybody, and then I went online. You can't do the show. We're gonna cancel you, and you know. And then this is what really set me off because I know Flavor, I know Young, I know Tone Loc, I know all the '90s group, Naughty by Nature. We've been friends forever. When they say, "Oh, nobody cares about Milli Vanilli," nobody cares about Vanilla Ice. I've known Vanilla Ice since he first toured. That's my guy. I don't care what you say. I know him. We cool. Oh, nobody wants to see them. They losers. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck they talking to? Like, I was like, yo, your mama's a loser. That's my first thought. So then I said, then my singer was like, yo, you got to say something. Everybody's going off. I said, yeah, I'm going to say something. So I was happy to be using the bathroom. And so I said, you know what? This is how I feel about y'all. So I cursed them out. I said, y'all not going to tell me what to do. I will perform for who the fuck I want to perform for. It's my right. My Second Amendment, my First Amendment right. The First Amendment is freedom of expression. I said, so I didn't vote for Trump, but the fact that you telling me and calling me and my friends losers, I might just do it now. Because I can do it. I don't have to vote for somebody. I said to somebody the other day, I said, you know, you shop at Lowe's? They said, yeah. I said, you know, Lowe's is one of the #1 supporters of Trump. You gonna take your stuff back to Lowe's? The Knicks just won the basketball game, right? The president of the Knicks is a good friend of Trump. So you're not gonna go to the game because Trump's there? He's in the building with you, but you still went. But you want me to give my money back. All the people online telling me what I can't do, or you're a loser if you do that. I said, I tell you what, take everything in your house back to Lowe's.
Wow. Yes,
they know what you say you believe.
Exactly.
Not 90% of the people that come to our shows are probably conservative Republicans.
Yeah.
I said, so I don't know what you're telling me, but I'm not going to never listen to what somebody behind the keyboard. And the people are saying, oh, you shouldn't be political. Everything we do, Puerto Rico don't have no water. Everything we do is political.
Everything is political now.
Everything is political. The way you comb your hair is politics. You don't know it. Yeah, now this guy fly. Anybody fly? Look at this dude right here. Look at this dude. I love you. This is my man right here.
Which one?
Mark. He don't age either.
Look, check it out. He's so fly, he ain't gotta speak. That's how fly he is. He's the most interesting man in the world.
No, don't make me just hate. Don't make me just
check it out. He doesn't know the interesting man in the world. I don't often speak, but when I do, it's all
Hey, Gary said before that freedom no sign language.
Yo.
Gary's messing with you.
Yo, what up, Gary? That's Gary Sipich?
Yes. No, Yancy. First class entertainment.
So that's what happened with the toilet bowl rant. I went off. You know, people say, you're offensive. I said, no, because I want y'all to understand something. I'm never going to let y'all back me in the corner. Because, see, you canceled Chrisette Michelle, well, you thought you did. You came down on Snoop. You came down on Nelly. And people saying, oh, Trump's a PDF. I said, so was who knows? How do you, what is that? What business is that of yours?
Exactly. Like I said, I never ate dinner with him. I don't know.
I don't know the man. I didn't vote for the man. But what I'm not going to let you do is take 15 racks out of my pocket.
Exactly.
That we not going to do. And if you think that you could cancel me, then you need to bring me a whole lot of money to hold me over.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, right? It has come to that. It has come to that. But
unfortunately, I don't know why.
I don't know who invented this click where you can now get a crew and say you're going to cancel somebody because you have this crew. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to be political, form a crew, get your crew together, think about your rights, form your political bloc, but don't tell somebody who's trying to feed their family that they can't do the same thing. If you go to Dunkin' Donuts is owned by, what was George Bush's vice president's name? The guy that super conservative Republicans. So you're not going to buy coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Like, make it make sense to me.
Yeah,
Right,
if
right.
if you start going through everything, then
Yeah.
It makes sense.
basically just stay home and don't go out.
Just stay
Because
home and don't go out
you
because
get
everything you right. I don't know
And
what
don't
you're
look at
telling me.
social media.
and don't look
You
at
watch,
social.
listen, you watching soccer, it's on Fox Sports.
I know.
Absolutely.
So then don't watch no soccer then. And I'm not saying that
Absolutely.
look, I don't agree with his policy. I think the dude is out of control.
Hey, remember when they did
But
the
hey,
knee? Remember when they did the knee on the
Football.
NFL?
Uh-huh.
Why, you ain't gonna watch football now?
right.
Everybody still watches football. Okay, and then washed away. But anyway, but it's true. I mean, nobody should tell anybody else what to do
Tell me
because
what to do.
taking money out of your pocket.
Kick
You know.
rocks.
Get cracks.
Kick rocks.
So talking about that, I did my research again, and
You're a researcher.
Well, yeah, I have to read up on everything, and
That's media.
yeah, because at least me, I like to know what's going on. You know, I don't want to be blinded by something or believe just somebody says something to me or whatever. And even what you find online, right? You have to be careful with
A lot of AI
because
shit.
Yeah, that's true.
AI is coming in and everything. But on Wikipedia, it goes through like the song when you were involved with the song with C&C Music Factory, and you actually trademarked the brand. Can I ask you how did that come about and what?
How did it all start?
Yeah,
though?
like
how did it start? It all like you. How did it start? How what was the connection with C&C and Freedom Williams?
I was an intern
Your
at
own
Quad.
version.
I was an intern at Quad. This is how you know how God works, right? I managed a house off campus in Virginia where I went to college. It was a house full of musicians. It was 8 students in the house, and I ended up managing the house because I always paid my money on time. If I didn't have all the money, long story short, a guy that lived in that house, his name was Joe Wood. Joe Wood had never been to New York ever. I moved to New York, back from Hampton to New York in 1987 to make records. I was going to go to Center for Media Arts. I said, you know, my professor, the great Roland Carter, who's still alive, he's a classical pianist. He told me, listen, if you want to make records, go home. He said, I believe you can do it. He said, out of all I wasn't even a music major, but out of all of my music major students, if anybody has the gumption to do whatever they say they're going to do, it's you. So I went home and I saw Joe Wood on the train. Joe had never been in New York. And I said, Joe, it was like 1887. I said, what are you doing in New York? He says, yo, bro, I just dropped out of school. I'm going to the Center for Media Arts. I said, yo, I'm going to the Center for the Media Arts. So we became classmates in New York from Virginia. So when Joe graduated, when we got out, Joe went to work at Quad. For some reason, I went to interview at Quad, but I was dating an African girl named Shandakile Tange from South Africa. She was,
that's a name.
Her father owned Sekulu Records in Harlem, world famous. It was a world famous record shop. So I told Thande, I said, yo, braid my hair, but don't braid it in African, because I used to wear my braids in African patterns. Because I was just starting to grow my ponytail out. I said, I got to go to a job interview tomorrow at Quad. Just braid it straight. I don't know what I wasn't paying attention. So when I looked up, my shit was in Kunta Kinte, fucking this fucking boomba and planar hieroglyphs and shit in my hair. And I was like, yo, boo. She said, I don't know. I got carried away. So I put a tam on. I said, I'm going to go to this interview with Quad with the great Lou Gonzalez. So Lou interviewed me. And in the end, and if you know anything about Lou, I won't go into it. He's a character. At the end of the interview, this was to be an intern or a gopher. I wasn't even going to get a job. I was just going to change the garbage and collect and get the coffee for people, right? We're talking about the 80s where the studio, and I always knew to go to the studio. I didn't want to work at a record label. I didn't want to work at a management firm or agency. I said to myself, what is the one place everybody goes to make records? Where not the club. I said the studio. Managers go there. The publicists go there. The A&R goes there. The artist. It's the one place at some point, everybody in the music, the president comes there. I said, I'll go where everybody is. So I got it. I graduated. And the first day I went to the interview, he said, yo, Lou Gonzalez looked at me. He said, yo, what's under your hat? I said, what? He said, that thing on your head. Lou was very disrespectful, by the way. He was about 6'5". He was a Mexican. But he was just like very he built Quad Studio. Quad was called Quad because that's where they put the first quadrasonic sound together. He used to record stuff for the Beatles back in the day. So he's a genius. He said, "What's that under your hat?" I said, "My hair." He said, "Let me see it." And I was like,
Oh no.
I was like,
Like, what do you do now?
I swear to God, as God is my witness, strike me down.
You don't look as smooth as me.
As soon as I took my tam off, he looked at it. He went, "Nah, you can't work here." Because remember, the studio is the sacred place for the artist. You can't be loud. You have to be quiet. You have to learn to serve Stevie Wonder and serve Kenny Loggins and Steve Winwood and Shaka Khan. It's not the club. It's a private place. It's where they come and do drugs and make hits. Right?
Right.
So he said, "Nah, you can't work here." So he sent me home. And I stood in the street. I said, "This motherfucker defied me before I got hired." I went to Unique. I couldn't get. They weren't hiring. I went to Skyline. They weren't hiring. I went to Right Track. They weren't hiring. I went to all the studios, Hit Factory. So the only place I could get a job was Quad. So this is what I did. I was homeless at the time. I couldn't live with my mom because me and my stepdad used to fight. I'm 21 years old. So I was sleeping in an abandoned building in Brooklyn, me and my man from Fort Greene Projects. And I said, "Yo, I got to get in the music business, like for real, for real." So I said, "All right, I'm going to go get this job." So I said, "Joe, when Lou's in the studio, you call me and I'm going to go and I'm going to talk to him personally." He was like, "Yo, you're crazy," because Lou's a maniac. He was like, "You going to talk to Lou?" Lou, if you didn't get fired working at Quad, you technically never worked there. I mean, he would fire you for chewing bubblegum wrong, right? So I said, he called me. He called me from his payphone. He said, "Yo, come over now." He's in the penthouse. I don't know how I called him or whatever. I was in Manhattan. So the penthouse was a private elevator. So I buzzed up to the penthouse as the elevator got to the 13th floor. All I heard was, "You stupid piece of shit. I fucking told you this is what you're gonna do. And you didn't do what I said." He was talking to a guy named Steve. I never forget it. And a guy named, I think it was Tim and Peter. And he said, "Both of you get the fuck." I mean, Lou was a nut job. He said, "Get out of my studio now. I'm so sick of this shit." Blah, blah, blah. Because Lou was, we talking about Stevie Wonder. We're talking about the Commodores. I ended up making records with Cameo and all types of artists. I worked on the butt, doing the butt. It was me, Marcus Miller, and Spike Lee in the studio.
Oh, wow.
I was the intern. And I watched Marcus. And the funny thing about Marcus Miller, he's from Jamaica, Queens. His younger brother was my best friend growing up. I didn't even tell Marcus that when I was in the studio, because you can't talk. So I heard this cursing out the elevator, right? So I was like, oh man, I was nervous. I was like, what the fuck am I gonna say to this man? I got nowhere to go, no house, no money. I'm dead. I had a 3-year-old, 4-year-old son. I was like, yo. So the elevator door opened and I came out the elevator and I stood in his back. He's like 6'4", long hair. He was like, boom, 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 boom. And I stood there with my book bag and he turned around and he looked at me. He looked me up and down. He said, "What are you doing in my studio?" Because, you had to get in with a key and a gate. No, it wasn't, and I'm dingy. He said, "Wait a minute. Didn't I fire you 2 days ago?" I dropped my book bag. I said, "Listen, you're going to give me a job." And I said, "The reason why you're going to give me a job, because it makes me sorry. Whenever I tell a story, it bothers me." I said, "You're going to give me a job because I ain't got nowhere to go." And I said, "I will work for you for free for a year." I said, "I will do everything you ask me to do. I will clean the studio." I said, "But I'm not leaving the studio. I ain't got nowhere to go. So if you want to kick me out, you're going to throw me out." And he looked at me, he said,
Wow.
He said, "Follow me." What he said. And what happened was, when he turned around, I dropped my book bag. When he said, "Didn't I kick you out?" I said, "Listen, man, I ain't got nowhere to go, man. I ain't a thief. I ain't a liar. I'm just here to get a job, bro."
Wow.
And then I used to sleep in Quad because I didn't have nowhere to go. Carla Schiffarelli, God bless her, would come in. One day she came in, she said, "Freedom, you got the same clothes on you had yesterday." She said, "Are you sleeping here?" In Studio A, there was a big sound room, but in the back of Studio A, there was another little studio booth. And I had a little cosmetic bag, and I would sleep in the back. And she said, "You ain't got nowhere to go, do you?" I said, "Nah."
No.
So I got a job. And that's how I started in the music business.
Wow. Wow,
That's an
I'm sorry.
incredible story. No,
wow.
hey, you're reliving the emotion. So, thank God that you had the strength and the ability to say, I got to do something, right? You got to ask and see what happens. And that's what happened. This big dude, right? That you thought, hey, he already fired me once. What the heck? You
Yeah.
know, God
Yeah.
was on your side. God was with you,
Yeah.
to
But the fact that I met Joe Wood on a train, Joe was from Oberlin, Ohio. He had never been to New York. Do you know how many trains? And I also worked for
Oh,
transit too. I actually worked for transit because a friend of mine's mother gave us a
mm,
job in the offices. So I had the badge, the pass, the good, but I wanted to be in the music business. So I only worked like 6 months. And the supervisors used to talk down to you and talk to you like you were trash. And I told one of the supervisors, whose name is Fred Williams, I said, yo, bro, I don't know how long I'm gonna work here because this dude keep talking to me like I'm a piece of shit.
mm.
And I said, ain't no amount of money in the world gonna let him talk to me like this every day. Why are you supposed to be here? I said, yo, who are you talking to, first of all? I was like, yeah, nah, this is not gonna work for me. So I quit. And I wasn't making much money, but I only worked like 6 months. So I was trying to find my way in the music business. And I was making sacrifices because I knew if I stayed at transit, I was gonna get an apartment. Yeah, I was gonna do some things, but I didn't want to do that. That wasn't my dream. I was 21. If I didn't do my dream now, it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, Joe Wood, when you said God, the fact that I got off the train and I got on the train and I said, yo, Joe Wood? I could have been on any train car in New York City.
True. That's true.
He said, I just moved here last week to go to Center for the Media Arts. I said, yo, bro, we're going to be in the same school. I'm going next week. And then that was it. And then here's the kicker. After I started working at Quad and I was a gopher and an intern. I started to work with, Eminem, Dave Morales. I started to work with Jason Loden, Boy Jarvis. I started to work with David and Robert. I started to work with all different people production-wise. I never saw Joe again.
Wow.
I haven't seen Joe since that time.
What? So it's been 40 something years.
It's
really?
almost like he was put there, I swear to God, to get me the job, and then not. And this, I've not seen Joe since 1987.
That's
wow. And you have no contacts, anything to know about him.
That's wild. Well, that's what God does. He puts people in your path, and an opportunity.
I used to work with Kenny Dope. Me and Kenny before Kenny was Masters at Work. My first record I made with Kenny, Things That Make You Go Home, me and Kenny Dope made. We made it in his basement. And I took the tape and I said, Joe, let's put this out on Vendetta Records on the B-side of Seduction. No, it was on the B-side. No, Get Dumb. Me and Kenny made Get Dumb. It was on the B-side of Seduction. Yeah. So me and Kenny used to bum around New York City. Nothing, no money. Me and Mark Anthony used to bum around. We ain't had no money. I was very close to Mark. Back in the early days, oh yeah, we was like.
You were in that area.
I was in that area. I was in Spanish Harlem. I was in Thunder Park, Hamble Court, right there on 102nd Street. I don't know if they made the subway yet. They were supposed to do a subway there, but never. I don't know if it happened. But I'm from that area right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then people don't realize everybody started humble beginnings. Everybody started, and like your story, I didn't know about your story that you went through all that,
Wow.
but it made you who you are now. Because it's unfortunate, but it's true, right? They say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, in a sense.
No, it does. It does. It does. You find a sense of peace when you get older. I'm 60.
Yeah.
And you find a sense of peace and contentment where you're at. And people will try to ruffle you and come. That's why I made the post on the other day about the show. I'm like, you're not going to tell me that you're going to cancel me because you believe that I'm doing something that you
exactly
will do. If I'm not getting into all of the minutia of what you think, but what you're not going to do is tell me at 60 what I can do. Get it? People send in letters and they cancel it, and that's their prerogative. Morris, time. I'm not mad at them, but I'm gonna go get that bread because I got an 8-year-old.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's right. You gotta feed. Yeah, that's right. You gotta feed your family.
I mean, we all on Twitter talking about this. All of the people, you know what I find amazing? It's called X now. Doesn't Elon Musk own X?
Yes.
Elon Musk, a South African who was definitely a supremacist. But we still on X, right?
I
Yeah.
know. We're so an
It's
accent.
stop.
So
So get
people
off
still
X
drive
then.
the cars too, and they still get by
Yes.
the T
Right. I
car.
don't want to hear all that. Do what you do, and I do what I do.
It's it's selective memory. I
It's
tell people have
selective memory.
selective memory. One day I'm just gonna hate today. I don't want you to do that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't pay my bills, you don't pay my
Right.
light or
Right.
feed me. So
Right.
unless you get to that point, and like I said, if I haven't eaten at dinner at your table or slept in your
I
house,
haven't even known
how
you.
do
I
I
don't
know
know
who
you.
you are?
You know what I tell
tell you.
people? If I'm not making love to you, I don't care what you think. I
It's-
tell people all the time. If you're not in my bed, I don't give a shit about what you think. That's it. Not even my kids. I'm like, yo. So once you became my girlfriend and my daughter, you're not my wife. Like I tell people, it's funny all the time. I'm like, if you ain't in my bed, you ain't in my head.
Mhm.
So listen, how did it feel when that time came that you guys dropped that first C&C production? And
You know,
was
the
you a
funny thing is,
feature? Was you an original? What is the story?
no.
We
The
want
C&C album was supposed to be my solo album. We were talking about doing because we had done Seduction together, we had done Brat Pack together. I had worked with different people. I had worked. I did an album. I did a Bob Marley remix. Whole album is out still. I engineered that album, and so we were going to do my solo album as a production team. Robin and David, and then somehow they went to a meeting. They came back and it was like, well, we're not going to do your album. We're going to do a group thing. I said, well, you didn't ask me, and we were talking about my solo album. I said, I'll work with y'all, but you gotta say featuring. I said, we could do it. I'll form this group with you, but I'm gonna be the lead and it's gotta say featuring. So that's how it became featuring. I said, but I don't really want to do it this way, but I'll do it this way. And so that's how that happened. I was making records with, like I said, with the two guys. I was making records with other guys. I actually had a record label called Knock 'Em Out the Box Record. I was producing records at night in the studio. So that's how, you heard it. That's how C&C Music Factory pretty much started. We were making other records. We were producing Seduction. We did other groups together. And so we kind of became a production team. Like I would always carry a crate with break beats in it. I always had a break beat.
my friend, I'm sorry, my friend just said, my memory says that he sounds like a New Yorker. It's
Yo, what up,
he is a
B?
New Yorker.
We're all New Yorkers.
In the name,
He's a New Yorker.
in the name in the likeness of my man Rob Bass. I knew Rob Bass before we were making records. I used to go to Harlem with the Guard, Universal, and Dupreme and hang out around the law school. And I knew Rob Bass. When I first heard It Takes Two, I was walking down Fulton Street and I was like, God damn, he made a record. Because we talked about it. So me and Rob, so when she said New Yorker, I'm like, Rob used to always say, yo, what up, B? That was his thing. So I'm a New Yorker, B.
Poor Rob Bass. I know. It's hard because we're at that age. I'm 61. We're both 61. So we know we at that age.
I lost Biz Markie, Coolio. I was with Biz. I used to go on stage with Biz Markie because he would be breathing so heavy. And one day we was on the road like 10 years ago. And I was like, yo, and nobody's like me, Naughty by Nature, Kid and Play. We was all on the road. We've all been on the road for at least 10, 15 years consistently. And I was like, yo, I said, V, man, B. So what I would do is I would jump up on the stage with him. And I was with him right before he passed. I was with Coolio, Rob. It's I'm actually doing a parasite cleanse and a detox right now.
Good job.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm doing
I talk about wellness, though.
Oh, yeah, Freedom. She has a show about wellness, holistic.
Yeah.
I want to come on that.
See, okay.
Because I've been fasting. When I used to go on the road, when I first started touring with Gonna Make You Sweat, I would bring my herbalist on the road.
Nice.
See?
And I would try to make my dancers do a 1 day, 2 day fast. And some of them would do it, and then weeks later, I would hear, Kenny was eating chicken, right, Freedom? Tim just said he was going to do that fast, but he was never going to not eat no steak.
He was eating McDonald's in the bathroom.
Listen, I have a friend of mine that has an interesting question for you, Freedom.
Okay.
DJ Shaz from Hawaii. He says, who is your favorite recording artist, singer of all time besides you?
Stevie Wonder.
There you go, Shan.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. There you go.
When you listen to Michael Jackson, you're listening to Stevie Wonder.
I got
His
you.
rhythm, his timing, his cadence, you know, want to be starting something, you got to be starting something. I said, you want to be starting something, you got to be starting. Stevie Wonder, you could take any Stevie Wonder song and put it there. When
Nice.
you
Yeah,
listen to
it'll
my
match. It'll match. You can mix it.
Stevie Wonder's me personally, I don't know anybody who Stevie Wonder does things with chords and changes that you're really not supposed to be able to do. He's like the musician. Even if you even think of Prince, Stevie Wonder is the bar. In his bad album, his bad songs are really good. If he has it. Yeah, Stevie Wonder.
I guess he got a phone. He had a phone call, so I'm just putting back my stuff. Yeah, because he got a phone call.
Sonny, you want to talk about the new stuff now, or?
So, well, I just wanted to clear up some, like I said, some facts that were online. We were talking about that. So, how did it turn around? So, I was reading, and you can clear. Let me know. So, it states that the founder or the creator, like David and Robert, were creating of C&C Music Factory. How does that work in?
Who were C&C?
C&C were them, right? How does that work?
C&C is cookies and cuchi fritos.
Ay, Dios mío.
Yo, no, David Cole, my heart. I love him to death.
I know he passed away young.
Yeah. David Cole passed away. His birthday is, I think, June 3rd, June 5th. How did the group? Well, like I said, we was already there in the beginning. We was really, if you think of Kool and the Gang, I'm JT. If you think of Kool and the Gang being as a group, if you think of Journey, I'm Steve Perry. Right. So we always was a group. I own a trademark because it's my brand. I'm the one who built the brand. I'm the biggest face in the brand. I'm the dopest artist of the brand. I'm the voice of the brand. I am the one who has kept the brand alive for 20 years internationally. I performed in the last 10 years for maybe 3-4 million people.
So this happens after Copland's dead. After he passed.
Yeah, well, the trademark, I always was able to use it, but the other guy, whose name will not be mentioned, used to always send cease and desist to all my agents. Well, you can't, and he used to want me to pay him. Now, nigga, you ain't never been on the road. The only time he would come on the road is at the Grammys or the American Music Awards or at an event. And then my dancers used to get pissed because remember, before C&C and I had all the dances, I already had those dances because I had a record called Rise to Freedom on New Groove Records with a group out of East New York, Brooklyn, house producers called Total Science. So I had already put the dancers together with my friend Jamel Graves. So I would go around touring in New York with 2 records, Get Dumb, that me and Kenny Dope made in his basement. And even though it's a C&C record, really Kenny Dope made the record. They just took the credit for it. It was really Kenny Dope's record. Yeah.
So at that time, you felt like you had the right to. I'm gonna just.
I am the right. I am it. I am the beginning and the ending. I am it. Because the biggest record you ever had is me. I am the group. I own a trademark. It's me for now, for then, and forever. Until I see fit to do something else with it. I have the right to do whatever I want. It's not even up for conversation. The other person thinks that he can have it, but there's nothing you can do about it. You lost it because you didn't have any cause to it, because you said that you retired from the music business. That's one of the reasons why you can't retire and then own a trademark to anything. I can't retire from a company and then control it, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So I had a record out and I brought the dancers with me. No, they did. All the dances you seen Gonna Make You Sweat. The reason why the video looked so good was because I had been working with those dancers for already a year or 2 years. So by the time we got to Gonna Make You Sweat, it was like pop, 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 pop. And I paid for them. Sony, when we did the record, didn't want to give me no money for dancers. I had to take them on the road for the first year. I paid out of my pocket. So that record is alive because I breathe psycho-spiritual energy into it. It exists because there's a lot of records like that nobody really hears as much. The reason why that record is so consistent is because I do the work to keep it maintained within the cipher of our universe. You have to do that spiritual work. You have to be that person to make something stay alive. Because remember, I'm an Aquarius, so you're dealing with air. So you breathe air into existence. So that's what the record is. I mean, it's alive because, I mean, I've got so many tours coming up in the next year. It's ridiculous. Because my show is tight too. My show is tight. So people want to see, you know, that's one of the things I pride myself on: rehearsals, shows, tours. And so that's how they came about. I'm just continuing the legacy of what we created. Whoever says that they own something, come on stage and do a song. Show the people what you can do. And if you can't do what I can do, sit your punk ass down.
Does this happen? Let me ask you, as an artist to artist, does this happen often with other groups and stuff like that?
Yes, I got a book coming out. It's pretty much done, and I go into it in detail, 200 pages, which I wrote myself, did all the research. Just so, yeah, it's quite common. The Platters went through it. Sister Sledge went through it. Journey went through it. It's quite common. But you got to do your diligence, and you got to show cause. You got to go before the United States Patent Trademark Organization, and you got to show cause. You got to have a hearing, which I had, and I showed cause, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't know this guy. We know you. Yeah, you got that. You go home." It's that simple. It's not even rocket science. But this person used to always threaten my agents. Well, he's got to pay me money. I'm like, bro, I'm not paying you no money. You got to give me $5.
Well, the thing is, it becomes I guess some people take it not a legal thing, but a moral thing. That's the issue. It's like, what's moral, what's ethic, what's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole thing. So, you know, there are people that are writers, producers, which you see on a record that we were talking about that in the beginning about royalties, right? How everything has to be structured correctly. You can't just throw it in there. You have to be able to put,
it's business.
Who wrote it, all that stuff, how the percentage of commission, all that stuff is in there.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you how I knew that this was going to be a problem when I saw Seduction. The mess that was made of them. I understood early on. Yeah, you got to protect yourself, and you got to, because the other two, they're not really doing the diligence that they should do. So when you see how a person, people show you who they are. They threaten people. They call people. I'm telling you, the threats that I used to get over 20 years. You're nothing. You're a loser. The Facebook post. You should not, like, who? Why are you doing that, bro? Relax. You're home. I thought you was a born again guy in church. I thought you was a preacher. Threatening people, threatening the agents, and the agents would call me. So I was like, yeah, no, I got to deal with this guy because he's a maniac. So, but it happens. You know, people get off the edge. You know, when you live in this world, you're not eating right. You're not, you know, a lot of things going on psychologically. So, it is what it is. It's business, you know, and in business, you do business.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't make all my. Listen, I get a royalty statement from Sony Music every 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 months. I owe them $400,000 for the past 30 years. Now, you mean to tell me I still owe you $400,000 and all the streams on the radio, all these streams on this, all these streams on that? But that's business, right? So at some point I'll address that. But it's the music business. So if you do business, you'll be all right. If you don't do business, then you got problems. So you got to do business. It has nothing to do with morality. There's very little morality in terms of how business function. The concept of business ain't morality.
No, that's the problem.
How you buy a house for $150,000 at 6%, and by the time your 30-year mortgage is up, you paid $1 million and what?
Exactly. All about the dollar. It's all about the mighty dollar. So,
Sorry.
but I just want to bring it up. I mean, I was reading a whole bunch of stuff, and I told JC, I'm like, what's going on? I didn't realize all this stuff's going on. They're like the notes on there, and other people saying that no, we're C&C Music Factory, blah blah blah. But the bottom line is a trademark. Once you get a trademark, like you said, a judge has to review that.
Yeah.
And go through it. So I mean,
that's not the USPTO is a very serious organization, and you better take them seriously. Once they make a ruling, you better understand that ruling. So you can violate that ruling all you want to, I ain't the judge.
Anything, so I just got educated a little bit today. I mean, I knew a lot of stuff, but
No.
not about you. I mean, about the business itself on the Latin side. You know what I'm saying? On the salsa side. So
Yeah. No. Yeah. We're learning every day.
And the salsa is not any different, and
No.
a lot of stuff happening, and I just
You know what I tell young artists that I'm working with now, that I've had a lot of artists and I'm putting out records now. It's okay if your first album you don't make no money off of. So what? But I don't want anybody to steal my demos. I'm like, let them steal it. Flattery, when people talk about you, that's the best form of flattery. Imitation. Like more people talking about me, it's like, okay, I don't care. Keep talking about me. So I tell young artists, when you're making records, if somebody steals your first album, prove them, go make a better one. I'm not saying that they should do it. They shouldn't steal it, but things happen. You don't know the business when you start. But don't keep all of these demos to yourself. I don't want anybody to take it. Well, then nobody's ever going to hear it. If somebody steals your stuff, that means it's kind of dope.
They like you.
They liked you. So go make another one.
So what would be the most popular song? I mean, it's a dumb question, maybe, from C&C Production, C&C Factory. Would it been
Gonna Make You Sweat?
Yeah.
So who's on that song?
Me and Martha. And hey, let me tell you the story about Martha. I knew that I couldn't. Martha had already been a singer in the Weather Girls and 2 Tons of Fun. So I knew that from my vision, I needed a girl that I could toss around. Not to say that I can't toss Martha. I mean, I do got some guns left. But, I knew that that's not something she was going to want to, you got to kiss babies. You got to do shit for free. And so I found Zelma uptown in Washington Heights. Me and my choreographer was hanging out, going over steps and just hanging out. And he was like, yo, I got a girl. And as soon as he said it, guess who walked around the corner? Zelma. I swear to God, I can't make this shit up. So Zelma walked around the corner. He said, oh my God, we were just talking about you. I said, can you come into the studio tomorrow? So I took her to the studio and I showed the rest of the crew. And I was like, I got the singer I want to work with. It wasn't that Martha had done Seduction. The first song, Seduction, You're My One and Only True Love. That's Martha Washington. That's not Seduction. There was no group Seduction when we made that record. I co-wrote that record. The whoa, all the backgrounds, a lot of them me and David are doing. Martha sung that record, then we got the group. You think of Black Box. Martha sung the whole Black Box.
Wow.
Black Box came out before C&C. So the record C&C Music Factory really is not a Martha record. It's a Freedom Williams record that's gonna make you sweat. Martha was on it because we had been using Martha for 4 or 5 years. David Cole, God bless the dead, was the musical director for Sylvester. Sylvester, he wasn't the first openly gay artist because Little Richard got that locked down.
Yeah, that's right.
But, he was openly gay. David Cole was his musical director, and that's how David Cole knew Martha. So we had worked with Martha. Martha she just sung Gonna Make You Sweat, but it wasn't a record she was going to go promote. She never went on a road with me because it was just for her to sing it because that's who we had. We didn't have any other singer at the time. We had, Cindy and all these other singers, but it was really me. I bought Zelma and the Avengers, the movie from the 60s.
Yeah.
Mrs. Peel and Mr. Sneed. I created the C&C image off the Avengers. That's why I used on an album cover, you see me with the suit and my hands are like this because I always carried a 25 automatic or a 32 automatic. And I would put it in my back pocket with a napkin over it. And I always went everywhere with my pistol. And so that's why you always saw me like this. And I told Zelma, Zelma, don't even speak because Zelma had a stutter. So I said, Zelma, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to do all the talking. And I just want you to be a pretty girl. Because she would stutter and we would do an interview and it would take like 10 minutes. I was like, yo, boo, let me figure this out. Let me do this. So she wouldn't speak. And so she just became this diva. But Zelma has a wonderful voice.
Well,
and some of the heat that Zelma takes, I never appreciated it because she didn't deserve that. Because she really can't sing well. So the C&C image was based off of the Avengers. I never said that to anybody before, but it was based off of Mrs. Peel and Mr. Sneed. The British, and I used to wear it. I got images. I'll send it to you.
Interesting
Me in a
concept.
top hat, huh?
Interesting concept.
Yeah, no, I created the whole image off of that with the top hat and the dances. I used to always wear a suit. I used to tell all my road managers, Willie, Omar, now you're gonna wear suits because we were the Avengers, not the Marvel Avengers. Because young people listen, they don't know that there was a British TV show about a spy, and it was called The Avengers. And it was Mr. Steele and Mr. Sneed.
I
and
remember.
He always wore a black suit with a derby and a cane. And so that was my image.
I remember that. I used to watch that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I based the whole thing off of it.
That was like around the time when Get Smart was in.
Exactly.
No, I knew exactly what it would take to make the image work. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's new, man? What's new? What's going on?
There's something. I got something new here.
There,
right? I got a little jingle. I can do it. Let's see if it sounds okay. I mean, I can put it on here. Let me put it on.
Just a touch of
Spotify.
love, just a touch of love. Everything
Into
is good,
the
man.
future.
Life is good, man. I got records coming out. I collaborated with Big Beat Entertainment out of Texas. I got a young girl that's on Big Beat that I'm working with named Brooklyn Dillon. She's 17. She dope.
Wow.
Yeah, I got Mark Walker. I got Young Swag. So I'm just, life is good. Life is, we're blessed, right? We woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's what I say in my morning show every morning.
Woke up this morning, baby.
You woke up. So there's a couple
I do a salsa show on TikTok, Freedom, every morning from Monday to Friday from 10 in the morning to 12 noon. Sometimes I go overtime, but that's why I promote me. That's why I always do my own lane. I stay in my own lane. I produce my stuff. But I got a lot of colleagues that help me out, So.
Yo, Charlie Chase, what up? I got to call Charlie Chase, man. I've been playing all week.
So now the one that's on Spotify, I have the one that you sent me. Is that different than the one that's on Spotify?
It might be. We have, we got 5 or 6 mix. I'm working with like 3 or 4 different production teams.
Exactly.
So anyone you got is DOP to the E.
Okay. So we're gonna just play a little bit because we don't want to get dinged here. So let's see if this works and we can hear it. And you hear it?
Yes, man. That was Mark, the guy that was just in TV.
Do it just like you never did before. Open up and let it go. Just move into the dance floor. Just slip away to yourself. It's okay, be with me tonight. I treat you so right. I never knew that you can make me feel you wanted more. When I just saw you, I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I've been. I don't know where I'm going.
That's my limit. That's my limit.
Sounds
before
good,
they.
Man. Yeah, they get cranky.
Bar rap on the back of that, but y'all don't got to play that right now.
Yeah. I don't want to get dinged on all these platforms. They'll knock me out.
It's all good.
But no, it sounds incredible. Incredible. So look, we learned so much from Freedom today.
Well, I got to see Freedom a couple of times back when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was just the crowd was so big, And
we ran into him, dear.
Yo, yeah. Oh, the last time we saw you was at the Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Rock Production.
That's why I keep saying. Yo,
that's why you recognized him. And I had my hair was pink back then.
Yeah, she had pink hair.
And I had longer hair. That's why he was saying that.
I remember the pink hair, JC. I remember you. I'm like, I know this guy, man. This is my guy. And then the crazy thing is, some guys and you actually hung out with them in some seedy clubs, but then you can't remember, and you're like, Lord, this could go really wrong, really fast.
Oh no!
Yo, let me tell you something.
I still got the pictures. I still got that clip with your.
That's where it is. Yes. What's the promoter's name again? The lady.
Charlie Rock.
Charlie Rock was there.
No, it was a girl too. The Parker.
Oh, yeah,
Charlie Rock.
Somebody else.
No, that's my sweetheart. I gotta say her name.
I don't know because I know that day what George Lamont was there.
Right.
Seabag was there. Angel.
I remember.
Latif was there.
Yeah, Latif was there.
Tito Puente Jr. showed up at the last minute.
Right.
Yeah, that's my guy. I was in, where was I with Tito Puente? I was in Morocco with him. I love that.
Morocco.
Yo, that dude.
Yeah.
He's a
Him and his wife, me and my singer Eunice, who's my lady, we have a blast together. Tito, we just start talking about people's shoes and shit.
I can just see it.
Yo, that's my guy.
Oh my God. We're gonna see Tito. Well, we see him all the time. He's here in Florida, so we always run into him. We ran into him at an event in Fort Lauderdale the other day. He just showed up. And then we're gonna see him July 12th, I think, because there's gonna be a freestyle event that he's gonna be there too.
Right.
So so we'll show up there too. So it's just crazy. Did he freeze? Oh no, he's
No,
still there.
he's still there. He's just checking the phone.
Me? No, I'm right here. No,
Okay. Yeah, I can see you. I can see you.
No, I'm
So
looking.
yeah, man. Let me tell you a little bit about us, Freedom. We're doing some nice things in the community. We always like to to do freestyle, and I came up with this concept that a lot of people are using now. I don't want to say that I invented it because you know how that goes. But the concept of salsa meets freestyle, I grew in both worlds. So I love salsa since I was a kid. I love freestyle since I knew freestyle came out.
Right.
So now that I'm 61, so I've been coming out with that concept for the last 8 years. And I've done a couple of things. And now, after 8 years, is that everything is developing. So we're doing a nice cruise right now, September 13th.
Yeah.
So I just want to let my people out know,
Yeah, I
everybody
have the
that's
promo
watching
ready
right
for
now.
later.
We have a
Yeah.
promo going on.
Where's your cruise at?
Port Canaveral. Leaving from Port Canaveral,
Where you
Florida.
going? When is
Going
it?
through September 13th through the 17th. And here, I'll do
Let's
the
little
little
clip.
promo real quick right here. We'll
Be right back after these short commercials.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second Spanglish Party Cruise. Come and set sail as we go into a freestyle adventure with legendary freestyle artist Chrissy Aiz. Joining her, the electrifying duo, the Nasty Boys. Coming back for a second time, Betsia. Freestyle new sensation, Nashali. Let's set sail September 13th through the 17th and enjoy the journey. For reservations, call 689-325-4367. 689-325-4367. See you there.
Nice.
Oh
nice.
yeah, so we have the salsa artists. We also have Plena. We have
Plena? I like
Plena.
that.
Plena, Bomba y Plena.
Yeah,
I like that. That's why I like it.
Yeah, and JC and I are officially getting married on the cruise as well.
After 9 years.
After 9
After 9 years.
And I'm not going to be there.
Yeah, book the cruise. You gotta go on the cruise, man. We've been telling everybody, come on the cruise.
Gotta
So we're
get
gonna
on the cruise,
we're gonna have an ocean wedding.
That's
On
dope.
the beach. My family, my sons are coming. My family. I'm really
be
excited
cool.
about it, and other people that have joined us on this cruise.
Well, in September, I'll be in Europe. September 13th to 15th.
The 17th. There's 4 days, Sunday through Thursday. Like we leave Sunday, we come back Thursday morning.
Make sure you text me everything. Just text me.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
It's still
so
open?
it's gonna be.
And let me tell you something right here, so you understand what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
you'll see Gary there and
No,
Christy.
I don't really like cruises. People ask me all the time. I say, listen, I won't be stuck on no boat with no bunch of people I don't know and the COVID or some shit, a nigga pop off, and then I gotta jump in the water. I don't swim that good.
Listen, I can guarantee you're gonna go and you're gonna
But hold
have
on, let me tell you
best time.
something.
What?
I like you guys. I like you a lot. So maybe I might just come on that cruise and just cruise with you.
Chill and
Just
chill.
cruise with you.
Yeah, man, you're gonna have a good time. I'm telling you, man.
There's quite a few
Let's go.
people.
And you
Even
get married.
Yeah, we're getting married.
Yes.
We're doing the official wedding. Everybody thought we were married. I said, no, we've been together for 9 years.
Let me ask you a question. You both been married before?
Yes.
Let me ask you a question. Now I'm the interviewee.
Sure. Go ahead.
All right, you're the interviewee.
All
What's
right.
the benefit of getting married at 60 as opposed to 30? Like, why do you think, Not the fact that you love each other, we know that. But
Right.
outside of that, what are the benefits and why is it important?
What do you want to do it, or you want to start?
Well, I mean, there's financial things like property, things like that, which you can have a prenup, or you can have, everything together.
We decided to have everything together.
I mean, I really didn't think about it anyway. I mean, we do business together. We do everything together. We're 24/7 together.
You
right?
know, Corey, let me tell you something. No disrespect to you, JC. I beat up Aries. Like I told my girlfriend, she got 2 Aries relatives. I say, yo, for some reason, these guys, man, they make me want to. I've literally I can tell you the kind of guys I have fights with.
Right.
But here's the kicker. Aquarius and Aries are a great match.
Yeah.
Because I'm water.
That's the fucking. I'm like, I can tell you, Aquarius, I have to literally punch in the face.
She blows the fire out.
I have to cool the fire down sometimes.
You gotta cool him off, right? Because he's a hot potato, right?
I'm a little sometimes, yeah.
I'll be like, yo, chill out already.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? She understands, because before we turn that fire on, there's a mellow conversation, and if you keep on beating around the bush with me, I just want to get to the point. You know what I'm saying? That's the part. But I've learned a lot. I mean, being with Alita, we've learned from each other, and like we say, this is our last hurrah.
That's
After her, I will stay by myself.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's gonna happen with the shit we've been through.
Listen,
I mean, what else they can throw at me? That we haven't handled it.
We've gone through a lot.
I tell people, I'm 60, bro. I mean, what I got? 15 good summers.
Exactly.
I would love to live. That's why I'm doing a parasite detox. I fast constantly.
Yes.
Last year I didn't fast. Last year or the year before, I fasted 10 days, no food. Like I flushed.
I fast every day, brother.
That's hard. That's hard.
I was going to do 15. Let me tell you why.
Full fast,
no food. Let me tell you why I did 10 and not 15. I got to 10. I went to the gym this morning. I trained, and I got to 10. And I was like, you're going to die. Because you really have no desire to ever eat again. And this is a problem. Because once you detox, your body's not craving the sugar and the bread and the soda, right? Yeah. So I said, I'm going to eat because I literally can do this for the next 3 weeks. And that's a problem. Because you become extreme in your thinking, and you got to dial it back. But the body, the
body adjusts.
It adjusts, man. It's an amazing machine.
It cures itself.
And it resets. It resets. I always tell people it resets your body. I call my show Rebooted Mindset, because I had a stroke 9 years ago. So I say I got rebooted. My brain got rebooted. I got my RAM clear. I told her
that's a good question right there, Freedom. What made me get with her 2 weeks after her stroke and take care?
Oh, you had a stroke. Well, it's funny because I'm still. The question wasn't fully answered, and it's still here. I was going to bring it back up because love and relationships are very intricate to navigate. So when you find people that make the choice to do that are your age, who have been through some things, I think young people need to hear that, because young people marry for love. You love somebody, but you don't marry for love.
Right.
You marry for business, because somebody says, well, you marry under God. I said, wait. I don't marry under God. I married at the courthouse under Judge Samuel Jackson, because if I married under God, I would not have to go back to the courthouse to get divorced. Right? Because God is a part of our relationship, but I'm legally bound now. And God is not going to intercede in the middle of our relationship and say, come to me first. So when you find people like you who have found this relationship that's worth bringing together, that's a powerful story.
Yeah, it is. We've gone through a lot of different things. Like he said, we actually got together 2 weeks after I had the stroke. We met at a friend's house, right? And we had seen each other several times before that, but it wasn't the right time, because he lost his woman to breast cancer. So I didn't know that. So he was grieving. So that's why we never got together. And then I was going through my own things. So then when I had the
it was so weird that night.
It was a weird night. Yeah, it's a whole long story. But it was a full moon that night. It took me everything I could do. It was my first day out of the house after I had the stroke. So I was home alone. I had to go up the stairs. I could barely walk. I had 50% loss on my left side. And thank God till now, 9 years later, I've recovered. Had to relearn how to walk and move and dress myself. And I was still talking about it the other day. Thank you. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of sacrifices.
Then this guy came along.
And then JC, I met him. I told him, he said, "How you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm a little damaged. I got rebooted." He's like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, I got rebooted."
That's an Aquarius thing. We make fun of everything.
Yeah,
and you know what?
true.
And you know
I
what?
do.
The weird thing is that same night that she thought that and went to her friend's house, that was the house to hang out, right? Everybody went there.
Right.
So that day she decided to do all that and go there. And then that day I was in my home in Hollywood, Florida. And his name is Alex. He gave me an invitation, and I'm over here home watching Pablo Escobar all day with a roommate that I had. And I said, "Yo, they invited me to this party," and I was like kind of lazy and shit. I didn't want to get up. It was like maybe 40 minutes away, so I said, "You know what? I'm gonna get up and go. I'm gonna take a shower and get nice and sharp. Go over there for a little while because if I don't go, and these are my exact words, I told my friend, if I don't go, I'm gonna miss something."
That's how we felt.
That's how we felt.
Yeah,
that was the craziest shit, man.
Yeah.
It was like,
you would have missed something, homie.
Yes.
Yeah. So I walked in. He was there. He was out there. They were smoking cigars outside and hanging out. And I walked in. Yeah.
Exactly. Not
now. We both used to. We both got into
a phase. We went through a phase.
That. Yeah, we went through a phase. We have a friend of mine who owns a cigar shop now.
This ain't a phase, though.
Yeah, well, I just can't.
I know you can. I know.
I stopped drinking now. I can't.
Yeah,
do the
we're not like before.
My body says, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
you know,
no doubt.
It literally gets me sick.
And it gets better, Freedom. It gets better. What? So we took on once we got together. We take care.
COVID. Then we had 2020. Then
right,
we had
2020. So then we had to move in with my mother-in-law, her aunt, her mom's sister. Then my aunt came along.
You mean her? You mean Alina?
Yeah, Alita's mom, Alita's aunt, and then my aunt. 3 ladies. All right.
God bless.
And then we moved to Palm.
Well, we had two first.
We had two first.
Then we had 2020. They both got really ill, and their brains were not great. So we had to come in, cook, shopping, do everything because they have dementia and things like that. And then his aunt lost her son, his cousin. Unfortunately, he passed. He was ill and he passed. So now we have 3 ladies that have nobody.
Right.
And I'm the only daughter for my mother.
And I'm the only nephew.
Niece, and she's the only nephew. So we were like, what do we do? We have no choice. We got to take care of our family.
And in Puerto Rico, I don't see Puerto Rican people abandoning their parents in a home.
I mean,
or put them away I can't do that.
I wasn't raised like that.
I wasn't raised like that. In Puerto Rico, we would take care of our elderly till they died in our home.
No doubt.
Yeah. So we got that we do. Besides the shows that we do, I have a 12-piece orchestra.
Wow.
Live salsa. I'm recording some more songs now. Hopefully this year they're coming out.
So let me know, man. Let's do something.
Man,
I would like to do something, man. You never know, man.
You never know.
Listen, man. We in our 60s and we can still do what we do. It's a blessing.
I love it.
Man. It's a real thing, man. Make music, man.
So listen, and I tell people, man. People ask me, JC, man. I mean, a lot of people tell me, you look great. You do this.
You do. You look good.
And I say, you know what? But I don't do it for the reasons that people think that I do it. Like, I'm not here to cut nobody's throat. I'm not here to tarnish anybody to make myself look better. I don't go out there saying, yo, my band is the best out there. You know how I do my things? I go to the studio, I record, and I do live shows with all my guys. And that's my satisfaction. And the best of all is that my mom is so proud of me. And that to me is gold.
Yeah.
My family's happy. My mom is happy. Everybody's saying, "Wow, look at the change. Look at your."
That's why I wanted to be famous, so my mom would be proud of me.
Yes, and that's like a lot of people.
Want my mom to say a good job. That's it.
I don't want to become Mark Anthony at this age. I don't even know if I want to travel the world right now.
It's a lot of work.
Staying in
a lot,
hotel.
bro. Let me tell you something. It's a lot of. I've spent 2 hours on the phone today, at least executing the show for tomorrow because I'm bringing Brooklyn to do. She's really fabulous. 17. She's bringing her mom, so we're doing 2 songs. I got like an hour on stage. I'm the closer, and so it's a lot, bro. Being a performer on the road is a tremendous responsibility. That's why I go to the gym, because a lot of my friends have passed. Yeah, like I just said, because when you're eating on the road, and I mean, I've been doing this 35, 37 years. I've been on the road. When you're on the road and you're eating and you're touring, you don't get the best food. You don't, it's if you don't really offset it and exercise and diet, it'll kill you, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, like a lot. This is why I always go my way, and I don't need anybody to call me. If you want to call me, you dig my music, you want to hire my band, this is my price. You can't deal with my price because I'm not known to you, but what I bring to you is an excellent product, and when you're hiring me in the first place because you like my song. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather stay home if I can't get what I want. If I can't get paid what I want, I stay home.
Yeah.
This is why me and Alito do everything. This is why we created Spanglish Entertainment. Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Because we were promoters before I became a full artist.
Yeah.
We were the ones that looked for the venues. Right. We were the ones that set up everything, hire the bands, get the sponsors. We used to do everything. Yeah. And we still do. Now that I do the artist thing now that I've been I've been with my band for 9 years, almost close. Mm-hmm. So, it's different. I don't have that feeling to be people don't understand, man. You want to be somebody like Mark Anthony. You want to, bro. It's not easy, brother.
Not easy, brother.
Yo, you think because they're on the fame and on the spotlight all the time. Man.
You don't see your kids. You lose your family. I have 3 kids, bro, and my youngest is 8. He's in Detroit. Me and his mom are not together, but he goes on the road with me all the time. I'm like, hold on, I got to take this call. Big Al, are you with the guy? Are you by yourself or with the guy that's going to do the shipping?
Can I mute him?
I'm on doing an interview. I'm gonna call you back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Here you go.
Yeah, we're almost.
I won't talk to you. I'm gonna call you back. Pick up.
Yeah, we almost done.
I'm gonna text you. If you don't pick up, your phone won't pick up for me. It don't like me. Okay. Your phone don't like me, bro. So no, it's hard. It's hard, bro. It's hard. I listen. When I land, I'm in the gyms. I've trained all over this earth, Panama, Bulgaria, Latvia, Lithuania, Detroit, Chicago, Florida, Miami, Cali, Oakland, Russia, Japan. I'm going to the gym because this is a machine that's on this road, and this road is hard. It's easy if you're not making records and you're not on the road. Producers they got the plush life. They can make records and just stay home and collect the money and the royalties. When you're constantly pushing the brand, somebody's got to go do that.
Yeah,
and that's a tough. Yeah. It's my son. He usually with me by now. He's on the road with me. He dances with me on stage. Oh my God, they love him. But you it's like an athlete. There's a story about Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan came home once. Remember he was in like 7 championships in a row. So he's finished in April and he's back in training camp in September. And he's sitting, he comes in the house and he sees this guy in the house. And he says to his wife, he says, yo, who's this guy in the house? She goes, that's your son.
Wow. See me, I'm at the stage now that even if God opens that big door for me, which I have a feeling, but that I get to pick and choose what I want to do.
Sure. Well, you're older, you're more mature.
I'm obligated that I want to.
Yeah, it's a purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. When you're young, you're just like, oh, yeah. But you have the stamina. When you're 20 years old, 25, even 30, you have a different stamina than we do now. I mean, I feel like I'm healthier now anyway than I was.
I feel
because you eat better now.
I'm very, like I said, it's all about your mindset. You have to change how you think and your lifestyle. Yes. People don't understand. It's not a diet. I don't say the word diet. It's a lifestyle. So you eat properly, you take care of yourself. And that's how I maintain, staying younger, looking good, and not having any side effects.
Talking about those intermediate fastings in the mornings. The first thing I usually do 5 days a week, because I got to take a 2-day break. I get my beets from the store with the stem and everything. I wash them out really good. I get some beets. I get a couple of organic carrots, and then I take a whole lemon. I take 3 pieces of garlic, the purple garlic, and I take a piece of ginger, and I put that all through my juicer with the leaves, everything, and I
Shots. Yeah.
and then I take a shot of that, or either I take a piece of garlic just like that and just drop it in my mouth, chew it.
I take garlic, I chop it up, I just eat it and swallow it. Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, he does that. He made me do it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a better one. There's this thing called aged garlic. It's black garlic. That's even better for everything in your heart, your arteries, everything.
Black garlic, you know what I'm saying. This black.
Had to be good. Had to be good.
Hey, black baby, what you want me to tell you, homie?
They say it has a compound in there that unclogs your arteries. Like
Yeah.
So
There's
let's
a
see.
lot of things.
I ain't never seen it, but I'm gonna look for it.
No, there is.
So going way back now.
I know. Well, he wanted to interview us, so there you go.
No, I know he did. No, but I wanted to say, because we didn't talk much about the Into the Future. So I want to talk about, how did this song come about?
Let me tell you. I was doing. I'm always making records. Like I can. If you Google me on, if you Google YouTube, I got like 5-10 videos that I directed. Right. So I'm always creative. I'm always active because it's just what it's who I'm always rehearsing. My show always changes. So like 15 years ago, I don't know how I met Mark, but I had a record label. I was making records and I met Mark and we did this record called Into the Future. And somehow we stopped communicating. He went his way. I went my way. And then I got a call about 6 months ago. I was like, yo, man, I think I'm gonna put this record. I said, it's a really good record, Mark. And next thing I know, I'm with him. I'm with Big Beat, and I'm with different producers, and it's a really good record. Sometimes Here Comes the Hot Stepper sat on the desk at Sony for 5 years before they put it out. Wow. I was in the studio last night with my crew, like 4 or 5 of us, and they keep making records. I said, bro, y'all got 150 records. Just find 2.
Exactly.
You got a hit there. You just got to tweak it and make love to it and caress it and sit with it and take it home and let it breathe and then come back. So that's how me and Mark, but Mark is that's my guy.
I hear you, man. So listen, I just want to let everybody that's out there, okay, we're streaming on 3. We're streaming on 3 platforms at the same time right now. So we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on TikTok.
And we're also on our channel here. Let me see if I can bring it in. So we're on, not all of us there, but anyway, we're on we have a Spanglish Fusion radio now, and we're streaming right now live on radio, internet radio. So
Spanglish Fusion Radio.
That's our new venture now. And we're always trying to see how we can, where'd it go? Okay. Always trying to see how we can, branch out, market more, and support the artists, all the time, especially with the magazine as well. So I'll definitely be talking to you, have some interesting stuff to put in the magazine. And yeah, this was an incredible interview. I'm so happy that I got to speak to you and going over some history and some things.
That's it. Very simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Right? My team is also watching. So we you plugged in now.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
You plugged in. Everything I do, I'm gonna send to you guys.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the new release.
And don't let nobody threaten you and tell you that you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't post it and you can't. Whatever. Kick rocks. Go play in traffic. Get out of here. Don't let nobody. Because I know. If you do this, I'm gonna.
Well, you know what, Frida? I'll put it this way: it's the same thing. The same way you asked us what made us marry us at this time that we decided. We do it the same way with our business. So we try to keep everything, polished. I mean, like my rep, nobody can say really that anybody did anybody wrong. Yeah. Unless you did it to yourself. And I always tell people, I don't let you go. You let yourself go.
I say the same thing in my office.
You fire yourself.
Yourself.
You fired yourself.
Right. He always says you start as a friend, you start at 100%.
You fired yourself. Your attitude got you out the door.
You
That's
started at 100%, and then it's up to you to keep it at 100, or how far are you going to go down on that?
You know what I tell people? Look at people's life and how they're talking and what they're angry at, and you can tell how they've been living. Look, two things you can tell a person. Look in their refrigerator, see what they eat. No, it's true. Look at what they read. I have 3,000 books. I have one of the most extensive libraries. I've got books so rare. When I first went on the road, I would go, they would all go to the mall, my dancers and everybody. I would go to the local libraries in like Kansas City and Wisconsin, and I would get books. I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember, I heard of that book before. Give it to me. How much? $70? Give it to me. Rare books. I'm a bibliophile. So 2 things you can tell about a person: what they eat and what they read.
Yep.
So this good. You want to date somebody? Walk in the house and open the refrigerator. It's not going to tell you everything, but it's going to tell you.
Know.
It's going to tell you where you got to start.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We know that.
Like, I don't want to go into a pantry. You know, it's all full of potato chips and refrigerator. You know, all the unhealthy stuff. McDonald's wrappers all over.
McDonald's wrappers, worst, man.
You know, I mean, people, and unfortunately, people wait till they get sick, and that's unfortunate. I mean, I had the unfortunate thing, but even though my stroke I didn't have a bleeding stroke, thank God. I did have lack of oxygen to my brain, so I was very fortunate that I was able to recover from that. I had to take speech classes. I had to practice speaking because I sounded like Daffy Duck in the beginning.
I would never know if you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Nobody believes it.
No, and I have it documented. I have 100.
She's not. I can say because she's not. She was over 200 pounds.
I was heavy. Yeah, I was very.
And now
heavy.
she's like what?
I'm a size 6 to an 8 right now. So
you had an eating disorder.
I was eating. I was drinking. I used to drink a lot. So I had my alcohol issue for a while. That every weekend.
Childhood trauma. We all have some.
Yes, that's how she wrote. That's how she wrote a whole magazine.
Yeah. I tell people there's no way on earth that you don't have some trauma. People say, "Well, I ain't got nothing wrong with me. I'm doing therapy." No. I tried to go to therapy because I had a couple of girlfriends over the last 20 years, and I would be like, I'm not sitting with a therapist and telling him. He looked like he got more issues than me. So, I'm like, what?
I went to take my aunt. I went to take my aunt to her first doctor here in Palm Bay, right? And my aunt lost about 150 pounds in 4 years.
Since we've been with us,
we changed her lifestyle, eating and everything. So when I went to this doctor, when he walked into the door, he weighed like about 300 and plus pounds.
The doctor.
So I'm like, oh my God. So then when he started telling me, why is she not taking this? And I'm like, listen, she doesn't need that right now. She's good.
Sort of medications,
medication. And he was like, no, but she has to take. And I'm like,
my last doctor.
I was to this point to tell him, excuse me, doc, can you look at yourself?
Yeah.
Give medical advice to my aunt.
For real. I went to my last checkup a few years ago. I need another one. And my doctor kept telling me, yo, you need the herpes, not the herpes, the shingles vaccine.
Yeah, they just called us about that.
They just called us
like, I never got no jab. None. I'm not. My son's. I'm not doing all that. You do that. I'm not doing that. I don't. First of all, I'm not scared of death. I'm scared of doctors. I tell people all the time. I ain't scared of death. Unless I got a bullet wound or a heart attack, don't take me to the doctor unless I'm getting my blood checked. Don't do it. Exactly. They're not doctors. They're pharmacologists. There's a difference. They're not doctors. They're pharmacologists.
Yes.
They get paid every time they prescribe medicine. It's not rocket science, bro. It's like you take your card to the,
people look the other way. People don't want to believe it.
People don't realize it.
Because people, they have fear. They don't want to change. So he kept saying, after he asked me to shingles, I said, nah, bro, I don't need shingles. I'm good. He asked me again, shingles. The third time I looked at him, I said, oh, I really got to change my doctor because you might try to slip me a Mickey.
Exactly.
See, now I'm not doing it. I'm done.
Man. Yeah, we're good, man. We're good, man. The only thing I need doctors for is, like you said, if somebody breaks an arm, you need surgery right away. That's a real emergency. That's
a quick checkup, maybe, but don't be telling me I don't take no blood.
Listen, and I don't even have to go to the doctor. I could go to any place where they draw blood and they give you the whole thing for a certain amount of money, and that's it.
Yeah,
it's like insurance.
What do I need? How's my cholesterol? How's everything? And we could get
all degrees, by the way.
Oh, this is a whole nother conversation.
There's
We can have so much
we have so
conversation.
much conversation because not all cholesterol is bad, and you need cholesterol in your body, in your brain.
And you need sugar too.
Okay.
You can't.
And you need salt. It's just
you need salt, but you don't need Morton salt.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
No.
So he knows. He knows. You're on the same page.
You're on the same page as us. With
So
that.
I know some people are coming in. We're on different platforms. So
Yes.
I just want to say hi to people. Hi, JDT's in here. Puerto Rican Queen, Jenny, Nega is on here. Mark has been behind the scenes. He's watching.
Yeah.
Let him know I see him. Okay. So he sees us, and he kind of kicked out. I don't know how his phone doesn't have a microphone.
I don't know.
Like, what's up with that? How do you make
I'm
a phone?
His phone is called the Roto-Rooter Calliope 16.
Is it the flip? He's got the flip phone?
It ain't even a flip. It's the
Not even a flip phone. Oh my God. A Nokia.
Mark, you need a new phone. Go get a new phone.
Oh
Go
my
get
God.
a Google Pixel.
So I want
or
to appreciate
Samsung.
everybody that tuned in today. Wow, it's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
An hour and 40 minutes. So we gotta
pure fun entertainment information.
We can talk forever. You kidding me?
We could
you got more stories. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna do the health podcast with y'all.
Okay.
You know I was a bodybuilder, right? I won Teenage Mr. AAU, powerlifting champion. I've got 20 trophies, powerlifting, bodybuilding.
Wow,
sometimes I fall off the wagon because it gets, and then I get back on. But
it happens, bro.
I went to the gym this morning. I buried too many.
I'm into a lot of I do a lot of Tai Chi in the morning.
I do too. I do 15 minutes of it.
I've been doing the Tai Chi.
And people think it's easy. You do a minute of arm raises, a minute, and then take a 5-second break, and then go back into a minute again with the next one for 20 minutes. It's not easy.
I was doing it online with him. He was doing salsa, and I was doing the Tai Chi on the other camera just so I could get my workout. And I'm trying to do it all graceful.
Activate your lymph nodes.
Yeah, he does the tapping. I did the tapping. Yep. It does it on the Tai Chi. The arm, underneath the arm and everything.
Listen, I talk to my lymph nodes. I'd be like, "Oh, I love you." I'd be like, "No, you think I'm dead serious." When I drink water, I talk to the water.
You have to. It's like you
ever see the Japanese scientists that
putting it in the universe.
The water. How when you say mean things, the water actually changes the molecules.
Yes, That's why. Let me tell you that. That's why Jewish people don't discuss any business at the table and no negativity.
Thank you.
If you drink that water after all that negativity you spoke and you drink it,
they don't eat perennial either.
Yeah, it just comes back to you.
I know the pork.
Yeah,
I know. That.
Don't tell me
I stopped it for a while, and then
hey.
I don't even have desire.
Now
for
we're
meat
not
anymore.
even.
I'll tell you one day of the story of why that Latino community eats so much pork. There's a reason.
You know,
I can imagine there is.
No, there's a specific reason why pork. There's a historical thing that happened, and one day I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Oh, we got to start a few minutes. You want to elaborate on that? I'm interested now. I don't want to wait.
When the Moors left Spain, when Ferdinand and Isabella in 1492 united in the northern of Spain, and the Moors, Othello wrote the Moors, the Africans built most of the castles you see in Spain, Granada, Castile. They were all built by Africans. Then actually, your Gothic churches were a Gothic design that the Africans brought to Spain. Jebel Tariq, the Straits of Gibraltar, which is owned by Britain, but it's in southern Spain, is named after Jebel Tariq, who was an African. Now it's an African Moor because the nephew of Muhammad's name was Ali. Ali was an Ishmaelite. Ishmaelis are the Iranians. The Umayyads are the Lebanese, or should I say the UAE. It's a whole different story. Well, the African Moors, when they conquered Europe, Italy, Portugal, and Spain for 700 years. Again, that's why Shakespeare wrote Othello. They banned pork. When the Moors were expelled because the army started to unite in the north and then expelled. That's why people think Columbus came here to find a route to America. No, it was 4 months after the Moors were expelled. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria were ships that were owned by Moors. Moor means to moor a boat. When you put a boat, you moor it.
Right.
So the boat was moored. That's where the word moor comes from, because we control the seas, right? When Ferdinand and Isabella united and got the Moors out, Columbus was looking. He finally had the maps that he didn't have before, because when they conquered the Moors, they took their maps. So now he had more. The Nino he actually was not even just a Moorish ship. Nino Colon was the African who actually guided the ship.
Right.
So what happened was, when they united, in a way to snub the Moors, pork became a main diet. It was done to spite the Moors because they couldn't eat it. Right? When you see the bull that they fight in Italy in Spanish,
yes.
the black bull was a symbolic of the Moor. That's why they kill it.
Okay.
Almost all that you see within Spain, in terms of the deep richness of the culture, obviously the Spaniards coming from the north, coming from the Pyrenees and the Caucasus is coming down, is because of the Moorish aspects of it. So when you think of pig, because they couldn't eat it, that's why they would put the apple. It was a celebration. Put the apple in the pig's mouth and parade it around. We're free. We're free. The Moors don't rule us. It was a celebratory meal. So it became embedded within the Spanish culture, as opposed to beef or lamb.
Right.
Because remember, thou should not divide up the hoof and not chew off the cud in Leviticus. Correct. When the devil was supposed to identify himself in Leviticus, he was swine, which many swine is a legion.
Right. That's right.
The legion. So it's always been forbidden because the parasites multiply. Now they say that the chicken eats from the same farm. No, but the chicken has a gizzard which aids in its digestion. The pig's stomach is very simple. It eats its own feces. There have been times when you want to kill a body, chop it up and throw it in the pig pen.
Exactly.
So the pus, it's just a point. That's why Muslims and Jews and
they don't eat pork.
Even Christians, Coptic Christians don't eat pig.
Don't eat. No.
Because remember the movie The Golden Child?
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
Murphy,
Yeah.
He was a deity in the cage. And remember the devil, the only way he could get to him was he put blood and meat inside the porridge. And he tried to get him to eat the porridge, and he would take the porridge with his mind and slam it across the wall, because the devil in the movie Numzi in the movie understood, I have to break down his genetics. I have to break down his phenotype. I have to break down his system. Then I can penetrate him. Because your mind is an antenna, right? Your head is here and your body's an antenna. Absolutely. So they're constantly receiving messages. If you eat bad, you block. It's like a radio, 107.5 WBLS clear, 98.7 KISS FM, 92 KTU. When you don't have a clear reception, you get what?
Yeah.
So your antenna, your human antenna, is constantly receiving signals. So when you eat clean food and drink clean water and think clean thoughts, you create a perfect receptor. That's listening to God. Because God is within, not without. That's why polytheism was shunned as opposed to monotheism. It wasn't the one God in the sky. It was the one God in your mind. God is in the self. We are the I am. Moses said, I am the I am, right? So
that's right.
The key thing to cleaning your receptor so you can hear the message of the Most High is what you eat. That's why all the prophets fasted.
Yes.
Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. Yes. And they didn't eat breakfast and all that stuff created.
I don't eat breakfast.
No.
I don't eat breakfast.
We're doing intermittent
fasting. They ate one meal a day. If you go to a monk, a Shaolin monk, or a monk in Tibet, they're doing splits with their leg up here. They're 6 years old. They're running up the wall vertically.
Yeah.
And then you ask them what they eating. Some grass, my brother.
Yeah.
Right? So what you eat, oh my God, it is the most, the Netherlands, the soccer, the World Cup, right?
Right.
You know that several of the European teams shipped in their own food, tons of it.
I can imagine they did because the food's so funny. Because the food's terrible here.
Tell them what happens to us when we have to travel.
Oh, when we have to go out anywhere and I have to eat outside, we always land up getting sick.
No, don't eat it.
I can. I told him now. That's it. Next time we had to go.
I'm
We're taking our own little cooler with all our
Yes.
stuff in there, and I do a pack of little things so we eat on the way. I have nuts. I have fruit. I have things that we can, celery, whatever we can munch on, and coconut water, things that we take with us because we always get
I'm gonna
sick.
take my ginger, my garlic.
Yeah.
For the morning, my shots of beet.
People can say this is a conspiracy theory all they want to. They are killing us slowly.
Of course, it's been modified for years. They just put it in our foods and other
soccer
things.
Team from the Netherlands shipped in tons and tons of fruit and food, frozen meat. They said to themselves, "We're gonna lose if in 2 weeks or a month of eating this food, we won't win." They literally will not eat the food here.
Yeah, because it's not nourishing.
It's different. I've been to Europe as well, and it's a whole different thing. Lacey hasn't experienced it yet, but it's a whole.
You can go to Holland and eat a Happy Meal and be happy.
Yeah, because it's not the same like it is here.
The same, yeah.
This is the ugly meal. We eat the ugly meal here.
Yeah.
Or everything is. I mean, listen. There's nothing in here. I mean, and people are learning enough. Very few are learning. When you go shopping, I read everything, brother.
Mm-hmm.
My God! Yeah.
If I can't read something on a label, I'm not freaking eating. What the hell is that?
So Jenny was saying here, she made a comment that she doesn't eat pork and that she fasts a lot. And she also said in Greece, my friend said it's so healthy.
Oh, yes.
Greece, I know. I would love to go to Greece because
Jenny.
That's what we like. That's the diet we like.
I like the Greek food. Hey, and also
Lebanese.
Food.
We go to a challah. We go to challah something or another.
Hoda. We go to Hoda.
I just had a show in Spain last week, and we went to the McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, I don't eat a lot, but I only will eat it when I travel because I know what's in it. I do the research before. Certain places you can't.
Right.
Because I don't eat it here. I haven't eaten it here in 25 years.
Well, we haven't. Well,
30 years.
I went to Spain. I remember seeing a McDonald's in the heart of Madrid. I was like, McDonald's.
Yeah.
I was you find McDonald's everywhere. I went to Czech Republic and we're going down the road. I go, come on.
Puerto Rico is the same.
I don't want to see that when I go to Europe. I want to see other stuff.
No.
I think Puerto Rico is the same as here. The only thing
Puerto Rico.
You
get rice and beans.
That's the colonizer,
I know.
That's.
But Ismael Rivera.
Hey, we had a great time, man.
Hola,
Yankee Salcedo. What's up, my brother?
Ismael.
Yeah.
We got salseros in the house.
We got the nephew of the great Ismael Rivera.
Okay.
I saw him.
Nice.
What's up, Baba?
Yeah.
Hey, Ismael, ¿cómo está?
Yeah.
So this was a great interview. We'll have to we'll be talking again anyway. And I hope people had a good time with the interview. There's a lot of things. We talked about a lot of different things. We went on tangents here and there, but the bottom line is it's about music. It's about bringing joy to people and enjoying that music and taking it with you forever. I mean, these songs last forever. Well, when one day when all of us are not here, they will see this video. Okay, the video will be online and somebody will see it and they go, oh, look at that. I didn't know that stuff. And they'll learn about us. The same thing else. We're doing history. We're creating history right now as we speak.
Absolutely. And living
we could hear both sides, man. I say it on other interviews. You got another a side to say.
Then you can come on the show.
There's always a side to each story. So I say, if you have a story to tell, please do come on a show. I mean, we want to hear your story too.
Yeah, man. And enjoy life. Life is short. I mean,
it's short,
I looked at my son the other day. He's 8. I'm like, he's becoming a young man. It's like,
and he's only 8 now.
He's only 8.
Mine's 30.
In his face.
They start changing.
They changing. Like, you gotta enjoy life, make good love, eat good food, meditate. Sit with yourself. Sometimes I sit in my office for like an hour and I just.
Yeah, me too. I meditate, man. I meditate almost every night. Frequency. I mean, people think when I talk like that, people think we're weird.
I know. I talk about music frequencies. It's very important. They're music frequencies that heal. You.
A lot of people, this is their first time here. And so I've been here many, many times before. So as you come, just like we're aging chronologically here, we've been here. If you've only been here the first, like my mom, I used to look at my mom and say, you this your first time because you sound crazy. Because You can tell a person's 50, but they act young. They're not satisfied. Satisfaction is the creation of the devil. The devil was created through one thing, dissatisfied. Cain was dissatisfied with Abel. Shaitan was dissatisfied with Michael or Gabriel. Dissatisfaction creates when you're not satisfied, you're angry. So you have to learn to have a sense of peace and placement of where you are in the present. And when you get older, sometimes you see 50, 60-year-olds, you're like, why are you so angry? Because they just got here. This is their first or second time here. So they have to go back, die, and then they have to be reincarnated. And you keep coming back until you learn. Once you learn the key, then you don't go into the light, because when you go into the light and it says go into the light, no, you walk away from the light, because now you can become one with the ancestors. You keep coming back. Because you keep doing the same dumb shit. And you can talk to somebody 50 and you can be like, oh, Tito, you just got here.
You just got here. It's your first rodeo. What's going on?
Your first rodeo? You don't know what you're doing. You don't really know what you're doing.
We're gonna start doing our own meals.
Exactly.
We're gonna start doing our own meals, because every time we go somewhere else,
I'm doing meal prep before we leave the house.
No, you have to. No,
because I like my yogurt. I like my plain yogurt. I put a little honey. I put some fruit in there. You know, I there's certain things. He likes his nuts. We have nuts to snack. I mean, there's a lot of different things that we like to eat. The only place we can go eat is at a Greek restaurant, any Mediterranean food. We went to a Turkish register,
but not a fast food.
No, a real restaurant. Authentic. We went to a Turkish place in Orlando. It was very, very good. And they had this bread. It was all puffy. Remember
the big blow?
It was like Hungarian. A blew up. Yeah, and they bring you the bread to the table.
There's levels to it. So as you start to dial back on the thing that you don't need, keep your menu very small.
Yep.
You know, we eat. Listen, this is how insane we are. And this is what they think they make. Well, they make, we have choices. No. You don't have choices. They're giving you. We eat Chinese. Then we eat Japanese. Then we try Indian. And then we try Korean. And then we try. The body is like, bro, you ate a different. Like, come on. If you look at people who have lived to be 90, they'll tell you, well, for the last 60 years, I had my toast and my avocado. You go to Greece and they say, what did you have? Why are you 99? Well, I just eat my prunes and my dates in the morning. And then at lunch, I've had the same thing for 50 years. I have my little sandwich, and every once, and in some countries, in some places in Greece where they live to be 99. And they said one of the reasons why everybody in this little island lives, they only eat meat during Christmas.
Wow.
And you'll find that people who live long don't change. Well, what do you feel like tonight? Eating the same? I know it sounds boring. You don't put different gas in your car every time you pull up to the gas station.
That is true.
No, that's why we always say that too. I'm like, I make the same thing all the time. I'm like, well, that's what we eat. I eat beans. I eat lots of beans. I even make the burritos with a high fiber tortillas that has more fiber. I put beans, cheese. I put other things in there, vegetables.
I'm happy with a rice.
Talking about dinner. I got
rice.
Yep.
Beans, a ripe banana,
aguacate,
and I have an aguacate, and that's it. And an egg, and I'm good.
Less is truly more. Right. I'm telling you. And when you're on the road, a lot of my friends on the road, they're like,
I know. Well, listen, anyway, I gotta
go because I'm ready to do my night show. That's from 9 to 11 on TikTok.
It's that's right.
Salsa,
oh my gosh.
I gotta get ready in an hour, and I'm gonna eat something and get ready to my show.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Freedom. My doggy's barking over there. Purito.
Yes, brother.
So thank you very much for your time, and everybody can go online and enjoy Into the Future and check it out.
Into the Future on all platforms, Spotify, Dope Record, Brooklyn Dylan, Dope Record. Man, listen, life is good. Live, love, laugh, and let go.
Exactly.
That's right.
Let's do this.
All right.
Bueno, nos fuimos, mi gente.
Nos fuimos.
Spanglish.
Bye. See you next week.